Hey everyone, if you've watched my previous gun hunting videos, you've probably heard the name Q-Stix quite a few times.
Q-Stix, Q-Stix, Q-Stix,
Q-Stix.
Q-Stix, 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 Q-Stix.
So in this video, I'll finally talk about who Q-Stix is. Q-Stix is a buck that showed up on October 16th for the first time ever on my cameras. I hadn't seen him in years past. He just kind of passed through on that one day. He was on most of the cameras, but he wasn't regular after that at all through the month of October. So I kind of forgot about him and kept up with my plan to hunt the Sticker 10, and I shot him on October 26th. I was down in Missouri hunting for the first 2 weeks of November pretty much, and when I came home on November 16th and checked cameras the week before gun hunting, Q-Stix was in the woods everywhere for the first 2 weeks of November, in the daylight, all the time. And I knew right then and there he was living in my woods now, and he was the deer that I had to go after for gun hunting.
I'm gonna try and get in and check some of these other cameras, make sure that a giant hasn't showed up, and then figure out where we need to be. We checked the cameras, all of them except the camera next to the stand we're going to, and a new giant showed up.
We got snow, and you know that Q-Stix likes to move in the daylight and snow, right? I do. So last night I went and sat in the blind down there, and I saw that nice one, let him go, and probably about 10 does with him. But what I didn't update everybody on is my dad watched 3 bucks and like 5 does, and he's almost certain the one was the giant that we're after. Said it was really big, tall, sounded right. Probably should have went to the tripod again last night because they would have been 100 yards from it. But then I was thinking, you know, I got in there late. That's why I went to the blind, is because I was worried about blowing it up, getting in there late after Thanksgiving dinner. So I think I made the right call. He was out there, he's alive, and hopefully he messes up this morning. I think we can get it done. I know we only got 3 days left and the weather's gonna be crappy, but we'll get it done.
No deer so far. Come on. There's a deer right there. It's like 30 yards away in the thick stuff. McNutt's gonna be good tonight. I think they were hunkered down today. This morning. Like tonight they're gonna get up. It's 10:30. It's a touch early. I usually like to at least stay until 11, but I haven't seen anything. My feet are cold, and I'm out of food, and I'm out of iced tea. So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna try and pull a couple of cards on the way out, see if anything is on them, and yeah, come back, try to be back around 1:30 in the afternoon, and hopefully those bucks that were out here last night do the same thing.
Tonight's the night, I'm telling ya. Q-Stix is going down. Got a picture of him last night. About, what, 6 o'clock? 2 pictures of him, 5:56 p.m. Let's go kill Q-Stix.
cue sticks somewhere in here. He's somewhere in there. Important thing, he's gonna wind up there, dead on the ground. What just happened? I hope I got him. He was in such thick stuff. I cannot believe that just happened. I don't know if I got him. I'm sick right now. I just want to puke. I want to cry. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe it's good. Maybe I got him. I don't know. He was right there, man. He was right there. I didn't see him until right there. And he busted me picking up the gun. And he started to throttle. Damn it. Damn it. I don't know. I need to get out and look. I didn't get him. Oh, there is a pic. The deer I've dreamed of a month and a half. There he was. 20 yards. This is one of those rock bottom hunting moments. Before I beat myself up too bad on camera, I'm gonna turn it off.
Like literally just about like your deer, remember?
Turn the sled around.
Hold on. So, last time I had the GoPro on, we were a little upset. No reason to be. Alright, so you guys are probably a little confused on what happened right now. So Q-Stick snuck in behind me. He's probably at 20 yards and some really thick stuff when I saw him. And he busted me picking up my gun. And he was staring at me for a good 20 to 30 seconds. It felt like about a year. I had no shot even if I would have just whipped the gun up. And so I was hoping he would just kind of let it go and keep walking and walk through my window, and it would be a 20-yard shot broadside. It'd be easy. It didn't go like that. So he finally decided that something wasn't right and he was getting out of there. And he turned and he starts kind of angling away from me, heading back into the thicker stuff when I pulled the gun up, and he started to trot. And I kind of had decided that I was going to have to shoot sooner rather than later, because the further away he got, the tougher the shot was going to be. So I whipped up the gun and picked out one little opening that I thought I had. And my scope only goes down to 4.5 power, so it was pretty tough to see through all the brush and stuff. And I watched his head and his rack and his neck come through the scope. And then I saw the crosshairs hit the body. And I gave it about 6 inches. I let the body come into it about 6 inches, and I pulled the trigger. And I fully anticipated that I had just shot him in the shoulder. So when I looked up out of the scope and he was running away, I was a little shocked, because I thought I had just hit him square in the shoulder with a 7mm mag at 30 yards. And it was so thick, by the time I got the gun back up, I could hardly see him, much less shoot at him. So I heard him running away, and the last time I saw him, it looked like he was hunched a little bit. But it was so thick, I was just nervous that I hit a branch or something stupid, and as you could see, I was pretty worked up, nervous. Called my dad, told him what happened. About 10-15 minutes later, I got down to look for blood, and I got down there, and all there was hair. And of course, my heart sank. You could tell from my walk out, I was pretty bummed out. I went back to the house, threw a little bit of a temper tantrum, and laid in bed for about 15 minutes, and the entire time it was just this replaying the shot over and over again in my head. And finally I came out of the room and I was like, look, Dad, there's no way I didn't hit this deer fatally in the body. At 30 yards with a rifle, there's no way. He says, okay, we'll go down and look. We got some good flashlights. Went down there, same thing. No blood for 50 yards, just that little bit of hair that I found initially. But when he ran away, I heard him running through the woods, and I knew the trail that he took on the way out. And I told Dad, well, I just want to walk down that trail, make sure there's no blood on it. And I got about 50 yards down that trail, so I'm talking 75, 80 yards from where I shot this deer at this point. And I'm literally 2 steps from giving up and turning around. And I shine my flashlight ahead, and I see blood. And there was a good puddle of bright red blood. And I shine my light ahead a little more, and I walk a little more. Every 5 steps later, 2 steps later, another puddle of blood, and he's like, a lot of blood. So I looked at Dad, and I was like, I got this deer. We're going to find him. So I ended up tracking him for 250 or 300 yards through the woods. There was pretty consistent blood. And then when I got to the edge of the marsh, there was bed. There's bed every little ways. So I figured we were getting close to him, and sure enough, about 20 or 30 yards into the marsh, I shine my light up, and there he is. So yeah, that's how that all happened. Quite a roller coaster of a night, but I'm just thankful to have gotten him.